ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः, श्री भवानी शंकराय नमः, श्री मात्रे नमः. सभा प्रारंभ प्रार्थना नमी सुरू करूया. दक्षिणास्य समारंभा शंकराचार्य मध्यमा अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंता स्मर्या गुरु परंपरा. श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं. शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. परिज्ञानाश्रम श्री गुरुशंकर परिज्ञानाश्रम शंकर सद्गुरु केशवामन कृष्ण पांडुरंग आनंद परिज्ञान गुरु सद्योजात शंकर सद्गुरु. गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Jai Shankar everyone. So we come to the final day of our yatra. Right from the 21st, when you people started arriving, we have been with you. We've been, on the first day we thought, Bapre, kittle disa satyani monsang. So many things had to be done to be organized. And in Mangalore, here, and in various places. But as they say, time flies. And with all your excellent support and cooperation, we finally got to the end of the Shibir. Not that the end matters, it's the journey that's more enjoyable. But, well, a brief report, you can say, of the Shibir. We started off in Mangalore. અને એરપોર્ટ અર્થાનું પૂરા જણ ડાયરેક્ટલી સેફરન હોટેલ આવેલી. સો સેફરન મળે વન ઓફ ધ ગુડ હોટેલ્સ તાજે ઓપોઝિટ છી શ્રીનિવાસ હોટેલ મળશીલે થઈ આમી રાબલી because we didn't have enough rooms in the saffron hotel. અને well, this being the holiday season, we had to put up with all the bookings and everywhere. So Thairabli, and 2 days in Mangalore were spent very well because Survek Mangalore Mathan Darshan Zalla, Prasad Bhojan Zal Swamiji. And excellent arrangements were being made by both Ramkishore Ma'am and Deepak Gulwadi Ma'am. The next day we went to Ananteshwar, Vitthal, Ananteshwar Deva Palela. And we had darshan there and a Prasad Bhojan. Magiri, we came back and we had a nice visit to the Ganpati High School, and subsequently I think all of you enjoyed the presentation made by Eco First, where you could get to see a view, though we couldn't go to Koteshwar school for Koteshwar campus for various reasons. You could get a view of that from the presentation that was made by Eco First. And there are a lot of initiatives there which we have to take forward, which I'm sure you are all aware of by now, at least briefly, and which will be done by everybody's cooperation. We are trying to organize a drive to Kotekar school, at least 1 or 2 of the buses, if we are in time. Flight time it will be too late. So let us try a brief drive through Kotekar campus, and so that you can physically see it. If not, well, you always have a reason for coming back next time. Magiri, I'm Shirali Aili, and after the Deepa Prajwal, well, things just happened one after the other. The 3 days in Shirali were also extremely busy. And Hangaileri, we find that the programs change every hour. So, kale ame plan kon, gamte kon ya tati, and then things turn here and there, and we have to put in more programs, take in more visits, or have some presentations. Well, we are used to it now, so it's like part of the game, and we try to fit everything as best as possible, though probably not as much as Swamiji would expect us to. Hangami school hours gelni. I think everyone enjoyed the school visit, especially the Bhagavad Gita recitation. And it was in one voice, and absolutely everybody had goosebumps, I think, at least speaking for myself. And we were shown around the school, Harin Mamal thai, technical center padele, art gallery padele. Then we had a visit to Cambridge also, where we saw the HMPP, we went through the HMPP factory. So most of you now know the secret of making paper now. So, well, you can come back and try your hand at it sometime with more time. Magiri, Cambridge farm, Goshala, Gaurish Padukon ma'am led us through the Goshala, told us all about the cows and how they produce, well, they produce gobar gas as well. And you know, then we had a visit to the Parimochan site. Sheila Kumble Pachi had organized very well, and they got to interact. All of us got to interact with her and with the beneficiaries of that particular scheme. Mogra plantation I was given, and there and everyone experienced how in their small way they contributed, and each one, it was a cooperative effort, and how each one saves for their betterment, and they are extremely grateful to the mutt, and they look on the mutt as their, like we do, the Guru Parampara, the mutt, and all their sanghas, Swamiji, are named after gurus. Like Guru Kalepuni, Guru Spandan, Guru something, all names what Sheila Kumble had said. So, Tanzania Magiri, of course, the evening at Alvekudi is always memorable, with the beach, the atmosphere there, with Puja Swamiji being there. And the program, I'm sure everyone enjoyed. The visits to Gokarn Mutt and Mallapur Mutt were a bit brief, but we got darshan, we got enough time to sit there, and everyone was informed about the importance of the mutt, Tancheng, Adi Shankarashram Samangile, and how Koti Tirth we went to, and Swamiji Survey Yana Pudkai Ashilemun Tame, the place of abode we saw. Thantanu Mallapur was getting. Mallapur Guru Mutt, it was one of the most beautiful mutts, at least my favorite. Fully wooden constructed, and I mean the atmosphere is totally different. Bittar was Gelari. Rati, we reached Gersappe, where the presentation by the forest people, the conservator of forest, Mr. Narayan Reddy, he was extremely passionate about his work. And itagal presentation antoi, he was talking so well, I mean, as if he was in tune with everything, and his pain at the deforestation and other things that were happening was, well, he toned it down, but we could sense the pain behind his voice. The next morning, we went for the trek. Some of you didn't make it the entire way, but at least you got to see the start, you got to see the forest and be there. And those were memorable moments because they watched the sunrise from there. We reached just in time for the sun and we watched it coming up behind the Sharavati river. Though we couldn't see any lion-tailed macaques, probably they got to see us. And well, that's a satisfaction. Magire, after lunch, we had an interaction with Pujya Swamiji where our yuas, not your yuas, our yuas put up a show.
Next time our yuas will also put up a nice show.
You did on the previous day. Finally we dispersed and came back to Shirali. Sorry, I missed out the mangroves. We had a walk through, a board walk, and it's a beautiful experience because you get to see the aerial roots, how they come up from the mud for respiration, and the various plant life there, what type of fish and other things they breed in the mud, in the soil, in the swamp, and of course the birds who eat the fish and survive. So all in all, I think it has been a very satisfying experience, and I think with that we are all blessed today. And of course, being here is a different experience, as most of you who are first timers will have experienced it. Being in the mutt, just being in the precinct with our Guru Parampara, the Samadhis, is a memorable experience. I would like to say that everyone cooperated very well, and though we had some glitches, we tried to do the best to sort out things and make it somewhat memorable. I'm sure everyone will take back a lot of learnings, even we do. And well, we arrive at the final day. And aji amka, we receive our certificates and a small memento, Swamangel Haste. But before that, I would like to show you a small presentation. Please watch it.
Swamangela मागची गेले वर्ष चातुर्मास बेंगलोर जाल तुमको तसं त्यावेळेर एक दिवस तांगेल घरा स्वाम्यांगेला विजीट जालें तावळी ही सांज चल्ली स्वाम्या लागीं वचून कानान तो एक दोन शब्द सांगले खंय तिणें की आपण एक काणी सांगवे स्वाम्यांक म्हणून आणि ती काणी काल जी खंयची काणी तिने सांगिल्ली आसा पयली तीच काणी सांगली स्वाम्यांक अगदी संतोष जालो आणि सिमुलंगना दिवस बेंगळूर तीज करून ते कविताचे रेसिटेशन करेल a great success indeed. And she is now a celebrity in her own right. दोन महिने मागशी स्वाम्यांगेले ओपन जाली की ते चलयेन हांगा ह्या महोत्सवाक येवन पावंका आनी त्या दिवस म्हळ्यार 5 तारखे दिवस जे तिने रेसिडेशन केलेलें आसा ते परत ते काणी सांगता हांगा एक कोंकणीन शुद्ध कोंकणी तांतू तिने इतले गोमटे रितीने धैर्य पावन भले स्टेजार म्हणजे धैर्य नासतना अगदी विथ कॉन्फिडन्स एंड करेज हांगा येवन हे म्हूण दाखयलें तेजे सादारण 5000 लोक हांगा जमील आशिल्लो तांचे मुखार इतले संचलन राबून ते खंय मध्ये एक पॉज किंवा एक विसरू जायनासतना ममते दिदीन तिने म्हणलें तुम सर्वांनी ऐकलं तिने तो शब्द वापरलो जगन निवास. Caught in the storm and this time, so January, that is life. तिने त्या कवितेच्यान तो जगन निवास लेंची नाव घेऊन केलेलं आसा.
जगन निवास ही कहाणी सांगता सर ऐकाय ती.
निवासू आणि तागल आवसू कगन आजाल घारा म्हणू वत्ता ती एक दिवसू वत्ता वत्ता येता धरंधरी पावसू मोडार मोड कळकार काळुकू रुंग 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 वाऱ्या धग 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 धडाम गुडगुडू झग 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 विजू एक धावला दरवट्टारी बसताती जगन निवासू आणि तागल आवसू राबून राबना सुटून सुटना पावसावेर पावसू उबगणी येता राखून तासावेर तासू पळता जाता सूर्यास्त कायला गुपचो सकट सुस्त आकाशू सलोची काळमळा काळो रस्तारी ना ऐकू एक नरकायलो ऐकून अभ्यास शब्द सकट स्तब्ध ऐकू येता ती परिचयनातील नवी शब्द टी म्हणून किरी रडण्या गुगुम म्हणू गुगुमा आणि ट्रॅन म्हणू मांडूक माणक्यांगला जुगलबंदी सरगम अनेक थानू हुक्यो हुक्यो कोण सांग कल्ला जगन निवासक भय सुसूर झाला अंगावर कपडे पुराय वल्ला शींग खाऊन चक्र सूर झाला म्हणता भूक लागतवा एक सकाळी जेवील पाज केन्न की धुस्सू जगन निवासक येता दूचिता उडासू पचडी कोसंबरी वेंगटी मेणासू चिंचांबा गज्जू कपाल मोक्षू बेंदी घशी कद्देल काय रसू खट्ट्या कडेला शवय रसू आठवण रडता जगन निवासू डोळ्यान तू दाकडता जगन निवासाल आवसू ओयो कसला जायशिला हो आयासू हो प्रयासू हो प्रवासू सातखंड जालवेमा म्हणून निमगिता जगन निवासू इत्यारे बड़ा म्हणून निमगिता जगन निवासल आवसू म्हणयावे अम्मा दीप नमस्कारू कर्यावे अम्मा स्वामी दयाल उडासू भरे गोमट्या म्हणया इतिहास सुत्सनी मक्के दळू मुनुबा जाता जगन निवासल आवसू भो पराक स्वामीन पराक म्हणू घट्टी म्हणता जगन निवासू घ्या धूर ताऊन दिसता एक दिवा प्रकाशू ऐकू येता एक बैला गाडी आवाजू दिसूक येता गाडी आंबोतल्यागलो एक मुंडासू मुंडासा भितरी माता कोणाले मुन पडलेलारी कगण आजालो गाडी अमृतलवासू जगन निवासू आणि तगल आवसू काढता ती एक होड श्वासू अशी तशी पळून भितरी घार पावता ती मागिरी सुख संतोषू
ही गमटे विनोद एक कहाणी सांगले इला गोकर्ण.
What a beautiful present. Kittle rande anch na vani pura sanglthin. Everything to eat. That's what they've been complaining, Swamiji, for the last few days. They accused us of feeding them too much. So come back for more. And I would now like to offer all the activities at the lotus feet of Param Pujya Swamiji and our Guru Parampara, and request Swamiji to give away the certificates.
कर्णस्वर्णविलोलकुण्डलधरामापीनवक्षोरुहां मुक्ताहारविभूषणां परिलसद् धम्मिल्लसम्मल्लिकाम् लीलालोलितलोचनां शशिमुखीम् आबद्धकाञ्चीसृजम् दिव्यन्तीं भुवनेश्वरीम् अनुदिनं वन्दामहे मातरम्. आनन्दाश्रमशिष्याग्रं स्वानन्दाम्बुधिमज्जितम् आनन्दाश्रमिणं वन्दे परिज्ञानाश्रमङ्गुरुम्. ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. श्रीभवानी शंकराय नमः. श्रीमात्रे नमः. समारोप सभा आयोजित करते सती संतोष जाता म्हण येद्वाय भाई एक प्रकारचं संतोषाचं सगळे कार्यक्रम बरे रितीर संपन्न जाल्ले म्हणूची. एक शिबीर करचें आशिल्लें काली गौतम आणि तगल परिवार हांगा उपस्थित आशिल्ले दिवगी वेदांत. You must have met them. I told him, do you remember, he's here. I believe you met both families. You were there for the first Shibir 21 years ago. After that we have had not very successful Shibirs. 4 years ago I think we had an NRI Shibir. But this is a beginning of very serious Shibirs. And I would not like to call them NRI Shibirs because then I'll have to use Kuti Mam's terminology, our yuvas, your yuvas also. But I'm glad he's brought it up. Just as I am very happy that all of you could participate intelligently, believe me, there were a lot of apprehensions amongst the organizers. Aparna Pachi, Sthalekar Mamak, must काळजी आशिल्ली. पैलपंत येता सती हांगा कशी, starting from accommodation, food, the environment, will they be able to even accept this? And I found everybody is gelled well. So the our, your, etc., we should be aware of this, that we have senior volunteers who have conducted this Shibir, and we have a lot of the OUR, our URs, who have behaved as volunteers. They have been in the background. Otherwise, they have always participated as Yuvadhara members and I had to deal with them, etc. And I found throughout the Shibir they were in the background. They were volunteers. I appreciate that. They are not repeaters. That's the only difference, okay? So, you have participated, first timers. So, next Shibir you will become our yours. Correct? That means you will be given some responsibility. And you will be held responsible for anything that goes wrong. Nothing goes wrong. It's a learning process. It's always, we can do this better. Or, for instance, the interaction, the processing that happened yesterday after the walk. So that was also, I had my suggestions that we can provide a walking stick, probably a little bit of training also of how one goes about a trek, silence. But there will be intervals when you need to speak, you need to indicate, and you need to be probably a small course of how to even walk during such treks, which is not very sophisticated. It is not mountaineering, it is not rappelling or something, but take 3 steps or 4 steps where you focus. Vipashyema, I see something specified. It's almost like I have blinkers because I am focusing. Then take a breath. Sampashyema, again walk. When you are walking, don't try to look around. Techniques, a skill set, which can be inculcated with a couple of sessions, correct? And again, I am requesting you, tumko anubhavasa, trekking atsa, bring these skill sets, correct? And you share it so that subsequent Shibirs become more enjoyable. Even in the training, participation zata, and then of course the treks also become more enjoyable. That's the whole idea. Overall, padele are amka masta khushi zalya, bhogam te zalne. आम्ही तुम्ही खंय हांगा गेरसपान वचुलेली थंय यक्षगानांनी पळयलें. त्या दिवस आमकां मेळू जायनी बिकॉज आय हॅड अनदर फंक्शन. दुर्गेश मामू, चंदावरकर, a very senior sadhaka. Whole family is connected to the mutt. मस्त सेव केल्या तांणी. आमी तांगेल गांवांत वचुलेलीं. थंय एक व्हड देवस्थान ताणें निर्माण केल्या आनी तांची पुनः प्रतिश्ठा आशिल्ली. सो आय हॅड टू गो देर. Beautiful occasion. I had taken this shloka which I will recite. Swasti panthan anucharema surya chandramasaviva punardadata aghnata janata sangame mahi. Swasti. Swasti is auspicious. When priests approach me, I give them mantrakshat, dakshina, and then swasti brahmanaya is the blessing I have to say. May auspiciousness descend on you. Whatever you do, may it be good for your yajamanas. Swasti. Swasti. Mangala mantati. Swastik kartat nahi. Kale ghar anay kartana. Or erect swastik, not the Nazi one. Swasti. This had come up. When we had put it up on the flag, swastika, there were some people who said, Swamiji, in the West it may be associated. I said, I don't know. This is Amgel culture, I have to highlight it. So how it is interpreted, in what context, I have to bring out what it means to us. Paramparagat Aila. Makes sense? This is where the Dvandva Slayari, you have to see it in the present context, Amgela, what we are highlighting. If we lose track of that, we are ripped apart. We'll question everything, unsure of one's own identity. What a sad thing. Tashizaunasa. Understand our small things like even the diagram in the spiritual context, in the Sanskriti of our Angelika, Bharatiya Sanskriti, then you can assert yourself with pride. Otherwise, you'll always be on the defensive and lot of doubts, unnecessary doubts. Sanshayatma vinashyati. Sanshayadhavan gyatlari vinashsata. Somewhere you have to take a call and move beyond that so that you understand it as you grow. This is life. So swasti. Swasti panthan. Pantha is path. Anucharema. Let us walk on that swasti, that path which leads to auspiciousness. Anucharema. It's almost like let us follow. Whom are we following? The rishis. We don't see the rishis. But this path has been trod upon. It's a safe path. It will lead to the ultimate destination of spiritual realization. That is the swasti pantha. May we walk on that. There are many paths. Paths are customized, remember, for each sadhaka in the spiritual realm. Okay? The sadhana has to be fashioned for each sadhaka, because you are all swabhavataha different. Spiritually it's oneness, but physically, mentally, emotionally, our understanding, it's different. It has to be fashioned. So still there is a path. You move towards that, and it cannot be defined. As you move forward, it will open up for you. So the prayer is, my next step may be on the path which leads to auspiciousness. Making sense? It's not a highway. When you dare to move, once you start moving, the path opens up. It's like cycling. A person, shiktana, pallaba, donpan palla, when trying to learn cycling, and he suddenly takes a call. Now I'm going to learn how to balance and then I'll start cycling. It doesn't work like that. Correct? You have to move. It's the movement, the gyroscopic movement that gives the stability and helps you keep, you won't fall off. You don't need any struts or anybody holding the cycle. Things like that. So swasti panthan anucharema. Example, Surya Chandramasa viva. Surya and Chandramasa iva masau. Like the celestial bodies, like the sun which gives us light, like the moon which gives us that richness, they are doing their duty. Religiously. They don't take, oh, I'll take a day off today or something like that. So Tashi, let us walk on that path. And any indications, it's a spiritual path, naturally very difficult to define spirituality, but then there are certain indications given. Punaha sangame mahi. May we come across, may we be blessed to meet people, come in contact with people. What sort? Dadata, agnata, janata, sangame mahi. Dadata, those who have and are willing to give skill, talent, money, love, whatever. Correct? We won't go into, I'm just giving you hints now. Those who have the capacity to give and give. Dadata, dana, dim chakatayarashana, aghnata, nishpapazaunasati. Those who are pure. They give but with an ulterior motive. Be careful. So we want people who give out of fullness, out of a good sankalpa. I give you this, may this benefit you, not to hold you in my clutches. Such people we want, may we meet. Agnata, janata, and they know what to give and when to give also. Agan may be very useful in a certain situation. You don't give it to a child. So the discrimination is also there. The capacity, the desire to give, giving with love, and giving with proper training also, so that you also use whatever you have given well. Makes sense? It can be anything. And it also implies, as we come across such people and we are emboldened and we are assured that we are on the correct path, because these are parameters we can understand. Oh, tamasta ditta, bare uddeshan ditta, gomte kon ditta, tras zainashi ditta, ityadi ityadi podon ditta. Those qualities majjantu yamkati, because I am walking on that path. That is after all a sadhaka. You're not praying, may I be protected, may I always be, may I become a person who can give because I have so many resources and I use my judgment also where to give what, etc. It's a sharing, giving. So may I also not seek help from others, but become one who is, one who gives joyously, generously, and using the intelligence and discrimination. That, so all the charitable activities, all the educational activities, and we are moving to something which is a spiritual goal. Am I audible? Prakasha Kaikata Skimakshi? So this is our spiritual goal. This is the prayer we make. This is why we have come together. As Kutni Mom said, we are all learning. Yes, we think we know a little, but with your questions, we need to go deeper into it, learn, understand better what we think we are teaching, correct? So that participation, that interaction becomes very, very necessary. This is what happens in a Shibir. Shibir is a camp. You may have a cantonment where the soldiers stay, where the military personnel with their families, but when they go out for war, they have smaller camps. Those are Shivirs. So this is what you have come for. You're protecting, you're invoking, you have generated that spiritual energy, certain ideas, concepts you've received. You're going to live it out in your daily life, which is not going to be a battlefield, but it will have challenges, and now you're not going to succumb to those, but you're going to come out stronger. So that is why the Shibir is important. It's not a cantonment. That means you'll have to come again. That means you'll have to go now and come again. Because you have to digest what you have received. Yes? You have to experiment with that. Then it becomes beautiful. Otherwise, bho bhar lani ki to jam digest samka na assimilate samka, then come back. So the sharing goes on, it will go on. I have received very, very positive inputs. I am very happy. Youngsters, Angelic Ichhashil Khai, ki we would like to be with Swamiji or we would like to participate. Parents have also come, but you know how it is. But I found the parents also becoming yuvas and participating equally intelligently, correct? So it has been a very beautiful Shibir, I can say. I'm very happy. So individually, a few of you have already connected in the sense how we can positively contribute with your personal, whatever skill sets, to whatever activities are going on. It was very good that Tonse Ma'am and Praveen Ma'am were here. Then we are connected, you know. And that will help immensely. I mentioned to a few youngsters, we are communicating. During Vaikina Mamta Pachi, Sampark Mansur Kelel Pada, at a very turbulent time, very depressing time, COVID Avedari, Tavadi connect us. I'm sure a lot of information is given out, email Acheri, we have the website, but there's another group which I'm creating. This idea just blossomed about 20 days ago. Ek Yuvadhara member Aila. Born, brought up here. Now he's married, he's in the US, and suddenly I realized he is not able to connect with the activities. So this group, by invitation, ek Yuvadhara group zatala, where when presentations are made for office bearers, like CHF office bearers asati or Hang office bearers ankatir kartati, you will also be invited, okay? Because you are already connected, you have some idea what is going on. Now some more detailed explanation of what we are doing here or in this activity. तैं एक लिंक पेटेल यारी, and if you have the time, inclination, I'm sure you have, you'll also get to participate and get to know what activity, new activity is going on. Makes sense? If we just keep it open or invite everybody, I don't think I want to do that, because I don't think this information needs to go there. Already connected, invited, and if you have the time, definitely. And if it can be put up and they can check out later also, you can log in and check out. Makes sense? That's a different group altogether. Youngsters, now they are grown up. Sanuchild Vasatyani, they're not just Yuvadhara, though they may be in the 15 to 35 bracket, but they can intelligently participate as adults now. So I think that information should be shared so where they can, start planning. So whether you're in the US, UK, Australia, you can still do that, because online a lot of work is happening now. Monitoring asta, ityadi, Bombay, Bangalore, thanitul zatta. It can happen from US also. Ek time achasta, but that can be adjusted. And tumgel free time andkochistata. So this is something tumkata links ami petetali, and that will be all be by invitation. Sumar विषय झाला questions answers अशेनी आमकां spiritual development मेळ्ळी. You have to discover yourself. Information, knowledge asta, but that self-discovery, we are on that swasti path of discovery. Shivoham. Aham asa, but I am this Ashimano. And all that is shaken, all that is questioned, life will question you. This is my son, this is my spouse, whatever, but interpersonal relationships, if you don't know, if you have based your identity only on such things as your post, your relationships, you'll find that being shaken as you go through life. So that is actually what prompts a sadhaka, vichar mantati, magir vivekyata, magir vairagyata. I can't go on trying to understand myself based on the external. I'll be exploiting other people. Makes sense? I am a father, well, so these people should behave in this particular manner with me, ideal, and I should give this and I should receive this. It doesn't work out. And then not only is there unpleasantness there, but if that is your only identification, you will try to set it right, so to say, with that and make a bigger mess of life. And then what have I done? What have I achieved? Invariably, if the spiritual content is not there, this is what happens. So quickly connect to God, connect to the Guru, discover yourself. That's the basic thing. And all the relationships, all your duties, responsibilities will then become meaningful, not a burden, because they are the small challenges which are forcing you actually to look inwards, where you will discover aham. And not as aham, but shivoham. Taj khatera, the mantra, etc. helps. The meghatlya, the gomtekon karati. Ghene is doesn't matter. It is not mandatory or something. But learn to be with yourself. The moment you close your eyes, you don't know what to do. Andhakarasta. So I'll go into that, because we have not had a session conducted meditation this time. I used to I've done so many times, probably but the presentations there was no time. So 5 minutes it may be a serious repeat for many people, but it may be the first time also for a few. So the need for being with yourself, Sangle, where you have to discover. Yes. See, we talked about, I think I mentioned when we were at the beach, the archery, etc. Zen and the art of archery. It was a spiritual discovery, a path to spiritual discovery in a different manner. The Shastras are different, they don't have the Puranas, etc. But in that disciplining, etc., finally something deeper is invoked, and it's not a very conscious effort. You read that book, it will make sense. So Tashi Sudayasta. Now those people also, Even if, have you ever seen this Japanese archery happening? I told you I used to use the Hoyt and the Olympic 50-pound draw weight bow, which is just target practice, and I enjoyed it. But when they do it, they sit down, meditate, in a very disciplined manner, get up and do the archery, again sit down. And as they progress, the intervals of just being with yourself increases. And the actual practice, it is there, but it is slowly, I think it decreases comparatively. So whatever has been done, one has to sit and understand what is happening. That's enough for theory. So this meditation is extremely important. So amgel traditional hanto yama niyama. Yama is how you lead your life. The general, oh, he's a good person, you can say. You follow certain rules of conduct, etc. A reliable person, a person who can be trusted, a person who follows yama, rules. I won't go into the traditionally enumerated rules, but you can define. How do you identify? He's a good person, he's truthful, etc., he's reliable. Niyama are the rules you take on for your spiritual growth. Okay? Every time, kalasna, good resolutions are made, okay, but then they fade off by the third or fourth day. So don't take on too many resolutions. With me, tumi kale resolution get liya, it will be this: I'll do my japa daily, come what may. Because the mind is going to play its tricks. It's going to say, okay, today is not a good day, or tomorrow is a better day, I'll start tomorrow, etc., etc. No, decision taken. For 10 minutes, I have decided I'm going to sit, I have to do it. That is where you're first asserting yourself that you're not at the mercy of external. I am not happy by it because he is not happy. Let me develop that strength where I can maintain my equanimity, I can be happy so that I can make others also happy. Makes sense? Or in a negative way, I worry because you worry. In a very good relationship where there is so much love and concern, it degenerates into this worry. Let go of that. Don't think you have to, you're destined to worry. You are entitled to happiness, to joy, because that is your swarupa. And once you assert, you accept that, then you'll move on the swasti pantha. Otherwise, why is this is not right, why is that not right? Only when everything else is set right, then I think I'm entitled to be happy. Now this perversion is going to make you a liability. Give that up, then you will be treading on swasti pantha. Makes sense? So far so good? Okay. With that conviction, your niyama, small disciplines that you have accepted, will be very useful. So the discipline of sitting every day becomes one of the first niyamas which I can give you all. Baisana pura. Ekdam maal gyan aur jap karo ka sur korchna. Chalda variyastata. You have to bring its attention on to what you have to do, the mind. So we start with just basic stretching exercises. Have they been done this time? Kalyantva? Very simple. You can evolve your own. Now when I do this, I feel seriously good because the stretching is happening. So I know what I am doing. I have 15 minutes on a daily basis, let's say. After this, a lot of work, there's an interview or a meeting, but hey, Mamta Pachi, not that bad. Not that. Relax. Breathe out, go down gently. It's not a forced going down gently. I am feeling, I am experiencing the stretching that is happening. Exhale, don't hold the air. Come back very gently. It's just the muscles pulling me up again. Going down, again I'm being pulled again. There's a grace that comes. It's very evident when a person is just trying to go down. Careful. Your meditation has begun, because then you will do it with your eyes closed and mage third going down. coming up. In this itself, a lot of the chatter in the mind will fade off, because you're not concentrating, you're not making an attempt, but it is so good. Relish, cherish that feel-good feeling when you go down correctly. Then as you advance and you need to sit for a longer time, even this stretch becomes very useful. Especially in Mount Abu, when it used to get very cold, -6 and Zatale, by our standards that's very cold. Kambalan ghan getla, it stiffens up. So periodically, always breathe out and then slowly pull. If I let go, the body snaps back. Makes sense? The idea is not how much I twisted. I went this much yesterday, so it should be a couple of centimeters more. No. That time, now my body flexibility says this is good, so a little more. Breathe out, don't hold your breath. The tendency is to hold your breath, and that's the worst thing you can do. Don't come forward, don't let the knee come up. It's a diagonal pull that is being experienced, right? When I am doing it with my left hand, from this right across my back here. So very gently, if you tug, you may land up with a muscle pull. No, come back slowly. 3 or 4 of this, with your eyes closed. Believe me, shanta samcha surzatmana. Voice relaxed. So a few things like this, then the rolling of the shoulders, neck, and the thode koryana. Once you have attended to the body, after yama niyama, it is asana and pranayama. These are not exactly the asanas, but before the mantra japa, a little bit of stretching. You are acknowledging this is my body, and then I am doing this stretch. And then you have already concluded, you have done your pranayama in the morning, but now this is just before the japa pranayam kocha, where I emphasize the diaphragmatic breathing. You have done that, slightly tucked in. You have practiced ninad, which is a very forceful pranayam. But during japa, you don't have to make it that obvious, but you are observing your breathing happening. Breathing is an involuntary process, but you can also voluntarily control your shwas prashwas. That is all we are doing. So approximately 3 seconds inhalation. And I make this movement because it's diaphragmatic. It's not thoracic, and it's definitely not belly breathing, which is supposed to relax and put you to sleep. We want a state of poise, alertness. So that breathing starts, it continues. So for japa, the next step will be dhyana. Then with my eyes closed, I'll first visualize my guru, take his permission. It's almost a communication, immediate, a gesture, a smile, yes, from the guru. And then he gets involved. He sends the Agni, fire, which just goes around me. Zir, 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 zir. It's a protecting shield that he has created. I have invoked it, and it is coming from the guru. That is maintained. Digbandhana mantati. Because now I am going to go within, and at that time, even a very cruel look or a vicious sankalpa made by a competitor or somebody who wishes ill of me can shake me within. So then Digbandhan has to be invoked. Once that is done, and you periodically just check out that the breathing is going on gently, then this is a traditional practice, very simple, which you can do on a daily basis also. It doesn't take very long. Explanations take long. Paduka, Guru Paduka, I invoke Sahasrarajari. The Padukas represent not just my Guru, his Guru, the entire Parampara, just the Padukas. Just as a Shivling, you invoke Lord Shiva in it, who's all pervasive. But for my personal Upasana, my point of contact to communicate, I invoke Shiva in a Shivling, Devi in a Yantra or a Vigraha. ek murtinto. And here the padukas represent the entire parampara. So now the mind is being given something specific to think about. Makes sense instead of just chattering, jabbering, etc. No, behave yourself. Visualize the padukas, you tell the mind. And since the padukas represent the entire parampara, it is not just some devata. The padukas, the parampara is going to liberate me, take me beyond samsara. Once I have invoked them, the devatas which are in tune, I think I had mentioned, and you people were worried about it, they are alerted and they are very happy. Oh, the padukas have been invoked here. They come around, cluster around you, not to trouble you, to guide you, help you, protect you, and to do puja of those padukas. Makes sense? If you have to visualize that, so Dikpalastati, all those devatas, they are coming, they are participating in what you have invoked, and they do abhisheka of the padukas with amrita. They don't use water or not even Ganga Jal. Amrita ante abhishek karta sati, because they recognize, oh, this is the source of all our strength. We have our kshetra, our territory where we can exercise our power. But this is the source of all power. They recognize it, they are subtler. And they do the puja, the abhisheka. All that abhisheka comes down on my head, on my sahasrara as charanamrita. Not just amrita, sanctified now further by the sparsha of the Guru Padukas. And that cascades down. And it's not water, it just doesn't slide off the skin within and without. It just permeates me. This is a very intelligent way of visualization, because when you sit, there is anxiety, there is pain, there may be pettiness or whatever, fear. You have used your logic to remove that. There is a time when logic ends. Okay? You know you should not worry, but still you are worrying. At that time, this amrita sinchana that is happening, that is coming down, you say, let this wipe away, wash away all this debris, all this pain, this foolish worry, etc. It's a very strong visualization that you are doing. Don't think it's just imagination. It's much more than that. Then the divine really starts working like that, cleansing you. Makes sense? And at that time, the breathing continues. If you held your breath, you block it. So remember, Kalte? Pavanna. Feel that. Makes sense? Feel that. Just no logic, nothing. This is not me. This worry is not me. Intellectually I have decided, but I am not able to disengage that. I am letting this amrita sinchana burn it, just take it away, wash it away. This practice, if done regularly, becomes reality. Complete transformation happens. Let it go. All this is happening in less than a minute, or maybe if you enjoy it, it will go on for some time. It's not a very long, laborious process. Spontaneously zatasa. The stretching, feel good. See that the breathing is going on correctly. Guru Smarana, Digbandhana, invoke the Padukas, the Amrita Sanchana, washing away everything. Feel good. Then you pick up the mala and then you start the mantra japa. Mantra japa also, when you do, you can do your visualization. Devi lamp, Bhuvaneshwari, I'll take that example. Now when I visualize, I'll see Parijnanashram Swamiji sitting there and doing the puja. And I take his permission, I come there. And I'll help out. I'll bring him the puja paderu. When he wants to do the arti, I'll give that. And he's doing the... So the Ishta Devata and the Guru there, and I'm participating. This visualization brings the mind under control, manas. And the buddhi, the decisive element, is doing the japa. The mantra has started. Makes sense? So the mind is being disciplined intelligently. Shh, Ulanaka doesn't make sense. Give it something to do. It's absorbed in that, this visualization. And the japa starts. Then it is left to you, your creativity, your need, how you have connected. Karlan Vatsulyanti, because it's very simple. The main gate Anthanaili, Durga Parmeshwari, Tik Namaskar Kello, Makshi Ganapati, Gurunk Anumati Gyon Parathangyaunu, Vastra Halyanti, saris for her, Full Halyanti, Abharan Halyanti, Pearl Halyanti, that is all being offered. The Aarti is being performed. I am taking that Aarti, the Teja. By then, poise ailasta with the breathing and the correct thinking, and then your mantra starts very intensely. Yes, you are on it. So this sustained practice, the strength yata, it's like any other practice. You want to memorize, how can I memorize? And within no time, like ila, extempore, aram shir samcha sur sakta. It's possible. If this is small, these are all techniques. You can incorporate anything else also, but basic, traditionally these are given and they are very, very useful. Makes sense? Korkachi munasa kalyari, it really helps. It prepares you and then the japa starts. So this is dhyananto pravesh kurchi eka prakriya. Makes sense? Any questions, Hajeri? Even that first cleansing, etc., is very good. Animal mantra dikshas getli amunchalyari, you go into japa. The mantrachkalasa, mantranto, the devata shakti, which is there within you also and outside also. The divine mantati, not divine as in your ishta devata, God, the spiritual truth, but the shaktis which work the universe, so to say. They have their specific work, duty. They are also propitiated. And your Ishta Devata is awakened by the mantra japa, the bijaksharas, etc., and the mantra. And that is how you start connecting. Makes sense? And there it is discipline, samaj samka ucharana. I'll take one mantra as an example, very famous. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. This is speech, I am uttering it. But japa is to be done mentally. So, I'll be saying it under my breath. It has to be a mental japa. So the lips are not required. But sealed. And I find the tongue is still twitching to keep track of the mantra. Otherwise, other thoughts intrude. But you have the mala also. You have linked that. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Or whichever your mantra is. Connect with this movement. Then, slowly over a period of time, ensuring that the breathing is going on correctly. Tu galkale kaam na ata, tu bais nodeta manu. So the tongue is either touching the upper palate or it's just lying down. No twitching. It's not required. You're not uttering it. It's a mental process. Makes sense? So that is how you start the japa and proceed to making it a purely mental japa. It requires practice. You may start and after some time you will realize, oh God, the mantra is going on but I forgot and there are so many thoughts. Practice. You will be able to focus, and once that is done, it will go take you deeper and deeper. Any vichara, etc., comes from consciousness. Then I understand, and then I utter. So I have stopped the uttering, now it is just the understanding. It goes deeper to the source. So the mantra is taking you deeper. Pure consciousness, yourself, mantati. So that is why it becomes important. If you can just plunge in and realize, fine. Otherwise this becomes a very useful aid to draw the mind inside. Relax. Devata prasanna zata. Your Ishta Devata is propitiated. Anugraha zamcha surzata. Manifestation is maybe dadata, agnata, janata, dhyangunyatati. You find, oh, I am much stronger. What I try to rationalize and which was still not making sense, suddenly it's very clear, crystal clear, and I can move ahead. Even in Vyavahara, when you deal with people, you'll realize you've become a stronger person. And you know why? Because when you sit even for 10 minutes trying to do japa, eventually succeeding in doing japa, you come out a stronger person because you're dared to face yourself. That's the biggest problem, biggest challenge. We make excuses, I don't have time and things like that. Basically, if you're asked to just be with yourself, it's distressing. The thoughts that come up, all the negative generally comes out. So you have to be with that and say, this is not me, this is not me. There is something very good within me which is recognized by the Guru, and with great love I have been accepted. I want to discover that dimension of myself, which goes even beyond good and bad. That is the Nirguna Nirakara, that is Shiva and Shivoham. That is my spiritual journey, that is the path. At every stage that will manifest to a small extent, and it will translate into much mature action, deeper understanding, compassion and strength. Makes sense? You can't have rules like you have to be meek or you have to be strong. A person who is meek may be, hey, assert yourself. A person who is naturally aggressive may have to be told, hey, relax, let others also express. So you can't have uniform rules for everybody. So this being with the mantra, learning to be with yourself, there is a divine intent which is helping you do that. Even if your mind is not very clear and you don't know where you are going, where you are heading, that sankalpa is guiding you, and that is prodding you on, and that will give you the correct inspiration, what to do in which situation. Makes sense? That was the first question, what do we do? And what example had I given you on Datta Jayanti of Anasuya? Remember? Nobody? What an atrocious, preposterous demand made by those three fellows. They were Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, but they had come. She was a Rishi Patni. Rishi is doing tapas, he is a male Tagal Bhavana Puja Gorka. This lady, she is the Patni, she has more power. Tikka se she Kalitzad Kor Kamunna. Thunderabli. Oh, there is a demand. I am a Grihini, I have to provide. And it was made conducive. Reduced to infants. Vagare infant and she fed them. Anusuya Avasuzalti. At that time I had said, she remembered the Adesha. Atithi Devo Bhava. It's the duty of the householder. Atithi. Unexpected guest, you have to take care of them. Hey, you have not announced your arrival. He is in distress, you have to take care. That is all that she remembered, but with her spiritual strength, she made it applicable. And for me, in that example, I'll say she is a personification of Matru Devo Bhava. That's the first. Then Pitru Devo Bhava. Then Acharya Devo Bhava. Then, as a seasoned grahastha, you take care of your family, you take care of elders, you have to take care of the students, you have to take care of the sannyasis, because you are the only one earning. Grahastha dharma. She was only thinking of that, but she was a personification of the first one, Matru Devo Bhava. Correct? That is why even the Trinity was reduced to infants, and we got Dattatreya. So in a situation, something fantastic came forth. So through our trials and tribulations, if we learn to look within, demand that strength so that we can come out, what wonders can be worked on. And collectively when you do, believe me, it makes a huge difference. You don't have to talk about it. I have a particular problem. I know my friend has a similar problem, and I see my friend coming out of it. I can also make the grade. That conviction comes. That is how we share. Makes sense? That is why these shivirs are also very, very important. So Tashi, this simple discipline of sitting, first it will increase your willpower. That is the first threshold you have to cross. No chatter, no logic. I have decided I am going to do whatever the mind says. You become strong. Then the breathing, correct breathing, that helps you understand situations where you don't give in to rage or fear. Udveg manatate, you keep that aside. And then you are invoking the divine also through the mantra. It has to guide you, it has to protect you. So japa becomes a small part of your life which is going to influence positively your entire life and keep you on track. That is the beauty. Come take on karate, enjoy it. Don't take it, I have done something, I made a promise, now I just do this japa, hope everything is okay and go. Enjoy that, make the best use of it. Over a period of time, you will be able to cherish that silence and peace out of which all creativity comes. Creativity is not just putting together things and trying to come up with something unique and new. Yes, you get inspiration, ideas from other people, then you mull over it, and what you come out with is something uniquely yours. That is creativity, and for that you have to learn to be with yourself. Then be with whatever you are thinking, which is still all very hazy, and then something beautiful is unfolding. At that time, do not hold your breath. Continue breathing and it will manifest. Enough? Vedasatasa, Master, I'm very happy. And we have to prepare. Sumar Shibir Sati, Tumge processing Zatasa, any ideas you have, how to do something better, send it. Kuti Mama Peto Yada, Priti Pachik Peto Yada. And immediately next Shibir Antum Yam Chinam Unzale Sudai, there will be other Shibirs Tum Yattali, not necessarily as the same group. 4 or 5 of you can come main to Zatta. Otherwise, December Ant will definitely, I think, have something. That's the best time here in Shirali. May is warm. So plan it out, keep in touch. Send correct feedback. You don't like something, let me know. Never leave this Shibir with the feeling, I may have hurt Swamiji, I may have done something wrong which has irritated Swamiji. It's impossible. I'm not going to be irritated, because I see something wonderful in each one of you, and that is all that I am addressing. Each one has to evolve in one's own way. You do this, you don't do this, that is all secondary to me. And that is all that I am looking at, and that is all that I want you all to recognize. And that is our connection. That is not limited to you alone. Remember that also. That is present in each one of us. And where we can relate to, connect to, taking some things external like a Shibir and all, we let that blossom faster, that's all. All my love. Bhajan Korya. Anything specific, Nimguncheski? Boliye.
I was going to ask if we form study groups where we live, all the unsolved questions, it's not appropriate for it to come to you directly. How should we escalating through some process so that the simpler questions are resolved and the ones that don't get answered finally make it to you?
I think you can discuss this. This is already happening. So there are people who form groups where bhajan is practiced, stotras, online puja, kaisa, vainava, zatnava, shruti, that. So discussion sanche zata, vimarsh mantati tave zata, where people have nominated, conduct these discussions, that also happens. So that is exactly what I am saying. Now that you have met, continue this by forming smaller groups also. It doesn't have to be Yuvadhara, it doesn't have to be Prarthana Varg alone. In your locality, or now because of internet it doesn't really matter, time zone matra padon korcha, your convenience, you can do that. I don't have to give any direction for that. You have to do this, please do it, it's good. And remember also, there are not necessarily answers to all questions. There are times when you just have to be there, ponder over it and let the answer come. Okay? So don't try to, that's a very important point. When you sit for japa, distractions mantati, what are your distractions? Don't try to tell me, don't worry, I'm not trying to. Generally it is conversations. Especially if you've been hurt, that keeps rankling, that keeps coming up when you're doing japa. And then, in what manner? It's not just pain or something. He said that. Was it correct? I should have said that. Or worse, I should not have said that. I hurt somebody. So this chatter keeps going on, and then actually you're just alone. So now that chatter, subconsciously we feel we have to resolve that before we start japa. Now I am telling you, you need not. Maybe it is a situation where you cannot also. Something is done, it's gone, finished. Don't indulge in that chatter. With a correct breathing and an intellectual decision that this has no place now, I need not try to resolve that conflict which is troubling me. It is just an aberration of my mind. I just leave. It is not me. Let it go. And then continue with your japa. There's a tendency to resolve things or come to some decision only then. And it will go on. Once you have resolved something, something else comes up. You have no time for yourself. That is what I am saying. Just let go. At that time, no. I am and I belong, and that is what I want to feel right now. That is what I have sat for. So no answers, no solutions that I am looking. This is a tremendous discipline. But if you know this is what you are supposed to do and you are convinced you are supposed to do this, you can move ahead. If you feel you have to resolve it, you indulge, then your japa doesn't happen. It may happen, but it won't lead to dhyana, where it is just a flow of the mantra. Flow, dhyana, you're not aware of the time. You thought you sat for 5 minutes, it turns out you've been sitting for 1 hour. It may be with the visualization, deep connect and the japa. It leads to dhyana and samadhi, fulfilled. But vimarsha, aniparamarsh, yes, this is an activity which is conducted in sabhas in small groups, nowadays also happening online. So if you can just speak to the volunteers, you can help that also happen. And keep me posted once you form the group. Purnakalamai samvit swarupini Purnakalamai samvit swarupini Samarasa shalini palaya mam Samarasa shalini palaya mam Palaya mam paripalaya mam Bodhaya mam pratibodhaya Purnakalamai samvit swarupini Samarasa shalini palaya mam Jagadodyani mृगसदृशं माम् Jagadodyani mृगसदृशं माम् Sadhana vimukham mochaya janani Sadhana vimukham mochaya janani संयोजय चित्तम् प्रणवधनुषि संयोजय चित्तम् परमलक्ष्यतन्मयतां प्रापय परमलक्ष्यतन्मयतां प्रापय पूर्णकलामयि संवित्स्वरूपिणी समरसशालिनी पालय माम् पालय मां परिपालय माम् बोधय मां प्रतिबोधय नमामि सततम् गुरुमूर्ते त्वां नमामि सततम् नमामि सततं नमामि सततम् नमामि सततं नमामि सततम् आत्मकाम संवर्धनि अम्ब आत्मकाम संवर्धनि अम्ब पूर्णकलामयि संवित्स्वरूपिणी समरसशालिनी पालय माम् पालय मां परिपालय माम् बोधय मां प्रतिबोधय Niharika, you can work on this bhajan next. Pavan, vichar karate. Beautiful. Jagadodhyane mrigasadrasham mam sadhana vimukham. Mochaya, liberate me. I have discarded sadhana, not interested, lost in this jungle. Hold me, bind me to yourself. See that I turn to you. Beautiful. Very vital. Pranava dhanushi sanyojaya chittam tanmayata. Bade Swamiji's motto. Tanmayo bhavet. You want to become one with that. So if you want to become one with that, it is not an artificial imposition. Right now, it is there in me. That goodness is there in me. And that goodness is Shiva. I have to become one with it. There I am entitled to. And finally you realize Shivoham. प्रकाशमानां प्रथमे प्रयाणे प्रतिप्रयाणेऽप्यमृतायमानाम् अन्तः पदव्याम् अनुसञ्चरन्ति आनन्दरूपाम् अबलां प्रपद्ये आनन्दरूपाम् अबलां प्रपद्ये ऐं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः ऐं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः ऐं श्री गुरुभ्यो त्वं गृहाणास्मत्कृतं जपं सिद्धिर्भवतु मे देवी त्वत्प्रसादां महेश्वरी भवानी शंकर मम शरणम् भवानी शंकर मम शरणम् भवानी शंकर मम शरणम् नन्दन्तु साधकाः सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्थाशाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु कुरु सदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः महादेव महादेव महादेव. So as we move ahead, Kutti Mam will be inspired to say he has got more of our Shibirarthis. This hour is Sanchalaks are saying, oh, now these are also Sanchalaks. participate intelligently. Even if you can't come for the next Shibir, which is 26, 27, 28th of January, send me some ideas. Makes sense? With whatever suggestions, Swamiji, we can probably you can include this in the Shibir also. I'll take it up. And if I don't like it, I'll tell you I'm not impressed. Or I'll tell you didn't work out. So you come again and make it happen. Keep in touch. All my love. Om Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev.